13. If thou wantest to cleanse the waters, say these words aloud. Waters we worship, the waters in the tree, the waters in the stream, the waters in the rain. If thou wantest to cleanse the earth, say these words aloud. This earth we worship, this earth with the women, this earth which bears us, and those women who are thine, O Ahura. And I can't be certain without seeing what's being translated, but if I recall right, the word in passages like this is always something like it brings to mind, worships with. It's not that these things are prayed to or treated as gods, it's that they either become part of the ceremony or they're, mentioned as something we're grateful for via the ceremony. Because we're not turning from the world, we're worshiping with the world. We're not taking part of the world for itself. Yasna 38:1. Who are thine? That is, who are thy wives? These women are, or rather were, the rivers in heaven, which are considered as the wives of the heaven god. The rain waters are called Ahura's spouses, Ahura niece. Yasna 68. And tradition wrongly recognizes in these women the Pharaohs of godly men. Alright, well, different interpretations of that sort of thing. Islam talks about goodly spouses in the afterlife for those who've done good. And remember, like elsewhere, we see this family language that, unlike the polytheist, and particularly the pantheist and the panentheist, they didn't see the material world or any of the creation as gods. Of course, people did end up worshiping angels of whatever, but 17. If thou wantest to cleanse the cow, say these words aloud. For the cow, we order thee to do these most excellent deeds, that she may have a resting place and fodder. Yasna 35:4. Let those excellent deeds be done for the behoof of cattle. That is to say, let stables be made, and water and fodder be given. If thou wantest to cleanse the trees, say these words aloud. Out of him, through his holiness, Mazda made the plants grow up. The firstborn bull, from whose body after his death grew up all kinds of plants, is the myth. I should have when you see this, there should be a program on oceanic mythology up, and they had this sort of thing where certain events happen, and that's why we have certain monuments and certain species and that sort of thing. So that sort of mythology is pretty common. 21. If thou wantest to cleanse the faithful man or the faithful woman, say these words aloud. May the beloved Iryaman come hither. For men and women of Zarathustra to rejoice, for the faithful to rejoice, with the desirable reward that is won by means of the law, and with that boon for holiness that is vouchsafed by Ahura. Yasna 54 mentions that there's no special spell for the cleansing of the sun, the moon, the stars, and the boundless night light. And the boundless light, because they are not defiled by the unclean one. They are only pained by seeing him. As soon as he is clean, they are freed from the pain. 25. Then thou shalt say these fiend-smiting and most healing words. Thou shalt chant the Ahuna Be'eria 8 times. The will of the Lord is the law of holiness, etc. Whom hast thou placed to protect me, O Mazda, etc. Who is he who will smite the fiend, etc. Keep us from our hater, O Mazda, etc. 26. I drive away Eshma. I drive away the Nasu. I drive away direct defilement. I drive away indirect defilement. I drive away Crew. I drive away Crew Egne. I drive away Bu Ede. I drive away Buedissa. I drive away Kundi. I drive away Kundiza. So the Z must be the feminine, right? Crew and Crew Igne are not met with elsewhere. Their names mean apparently wound and the wounding one. Whether they belong to concrete mythology or were mere abstractions, it is difficult to decide. I would say things like that have both values. They can literally be a being, and there could be other information to it. They may have been mere names or epithets of Ashma Kruidru. Ashma, of the wounding spear. Ashma meaning wrath. Buid Hiza, the offspring of Bu Idhe. I think it's D or the. But the meaning of Bu Id is unknown. Kundiza is the offspring of Kunde. Kunde is contracted from Kavande or Kavanda, the Indian homonym. Kavanda means literally a tub, and by a mythical metaphor, a raining cloud. He becomes, then, the demon in the cloud. He is known in Greek mythology under the name of Ka'anthos. I drive away the yellow bush Yasta. I drive away the long-handed bush Yasta. I drive away Mu'edeh. I drive away Capacity. And Mu'edeh is an unknown demon, and some say it's destruction, and Capacity means revenge. I drive away the Pa Erika that comes upon the fire, upon the water, upon the earth, upon the cow, upon the tree. I drive away the demon of uncleanliness that comes upon the fire, upon the water, upon the earth, upon the cow, upon the tree. 32. I drive away thee, O mischievous, Angra Ma'enu, from the fire, from the water, from the earth, from the cow, from the tree, from the faithful man, from the faithful woman, from the stars, from the moon, from the sun, from the boundless light, from all good things made by Mazda, the offspring of the holy principle. 33. Then thou shalt say these fiend-smiting and most healing words. Thou shalt chant 4 times. Thou shalt chant 4 Ahuna Ba'erias. The will of the Lord is the law of holiness, and so on. Whom hast thou placed to protect me, and so on. Was he? Who is he who will smite the fiend, and so on. Keep us from our hater, O Mazda, and so on. Remember, look in the Zoroastrian list for some of these formulas in Avestan and that sort of stuff, and more information than in this particular series. 34. Away is Eshma driven. Away is the Nasu driven. Away is direct defilement. Away is indirect defilement driven. Away is crew. Away is crew ikne driven. Away is bu'idde. Away is bu'idhiza driven. Away is kunde. Away is kundiza driven. Away is bush yasta driven. The yellow. Away is bush yasta driven. The long-handed. Away is mu'idde. Away is kapaste driven. Away is the pa'irika driven, that comes upon the fire, upon the water, upon the earth, upon the cow, upon the tree. Away is the demon of uncleanness driven, that comes upon the fire, upon the waters, upon the earth, upon the cow, upon the tree. 40. Away art thou driven, O mischievous, engra ma'inu, from the fire, from the water, from the earth, from the cow, from the tree, from the faithful man, and from the faithful woman, from the stars, from the moon, from the sun, from the boundless light, from all good things made by us, the offspring of the holy principle. Now see if we take it as these things are God, like the fire and all these things are gods. How in the world is the human supposed to, well, wouldn't that make the human just as much of a god, or even more of a god? The god that brings about the other gods, or they're not following that. So 41. Thou shalt say these fiend-smiting and most healing words. Thou shalt chant Mazda ad Mo'eh 4 times. O Mazda, teach me excellent words and excellent works, that through the good thought and the holiness of him who offers thee due praise, thou mayest, O Lord, make the world thrive forever and ever, at thy will, under thy sovereign rule. See, there's only one Lord, one God, that sort of thing. This is, so everything's supposed to be under the sovereignty of Ahura Mazda. 15. I drive away Eshma, I drive away the Nasu, etc. 16. I drive thee away, O mischievous, engra ma'inu, from the fire, from the water, etc. Then thou shalt say these fiend-smiting most healing words. Thou shalt chant the Iryama Ishyo 4 times. May the beloved Iryaman come hither. That's said 4 times. Away is Eshma driven. Away is the Nasu driven, etc. Away art thou driven, O mischievous, engra ma'inu, from the fire, from the water, etc. And thou shalt say these fiend-smiting and most healing words. Thou shalt chant 5 Ahuna Va'erias. The will of the Lord is the law of holiness, etc. Whom hast thou placed to protect me, etc. Who is he who will smite the fiend, etc. Keep us from our hater, O Mazda, and our ma'ete spenta. Perish, O fiendish droog. Perish, O brood of the fiend. Perish, O world of the fiend. Perish away, O droog. Rush away, O droog. Perish away, O droog. Perish away to the regions of the north, nevermore to give unto death the living world of the Holy Spirit.